Afternoon, everybody. This is our final macro project, and it is about investing in the Czech Republic. I'm fourth class Andrew Brown.
I'm fourth class Mariah Plinky. I'm fourth class Linda Drake.
And not present with us today is fourth class Klowinski.
So as a brief introduction, the Czech Republic has been named the 24th freest country, and they currently sit at 13 out of 24 of the freest countries in the Europe region. And this was taken from the 2015 index, so this is very recent. They are on a market economy, and that's interesting because they were part of the Soviet Union before it collapsed. And as they've made that transition into a market economy, they've done very well. They have strong partners, one of which is Germany, which plays a key role in their success in economics. And as they've transitioned into this market economy, they've had a very strong commitment to economic freedom. So to give you a little bit of background on the country, like I said, they were part of the Soviet Union. And when the Soviet Union, broke up, Czechoslovakia broke into the Czech Republic and Slovakia. And in 2004, something huge happened. They joined NATO, and they also joined the European Union, even though they are outside of the Eurozone. And this country has a population of 10.52 million people, and with that population, they make over 161.4 billion per year in exports, which is pretty good. In 2010, they made, for the first time, 1 million automobiles, and 80% of those were exported to Germany. And this economy is very closely linked with Germany, and that seems a pretty good thing because Germany typically does very well. Again, their inflation is 1.4%, and their unemployment rate is currently 7%, which is really good because they're actually coming out of a recession, and they're doing very, very strongly.
The Czech Republic underwent the longest recession from the end of 2011 until the spring of 2013. It has been slowly shifting from a manufacturing-based economy to a service-based economy. In the past, they have a large part of their economy, like we said, has been in the auto manufacturing industry, but as of 2012, 60.3% of their unemployment has come from services. Some of the negative aspects of their current economic state is their aging population, corruption, and since they're a small nation, their dependency on larger nations to buy their products. Since they are such a small country and they're less developed, they have like a greater chance of greater returns. Currently, they are recovering from the 2011 to 2013 recession.
Yeah, so if you look at this graph right here, what we have is the past years of the GDP growth, starting with 2011 and coming through to 2013. These are the projections. This is 2014 right here, and 2015, 16, and 17. So as you can see, it's not a huge growth per se, but it is growth. And this is good because they're currently coming out of the recovery stages of their largest recession that they've ever had. And because they're a smaller country, yes, it is going to be a more volatile investment, but you have the chance of greater returns than you would with a more stable, larger economy. And really the only thing that you would have to worry about with the economic state of the Czech Republic is the aging population, the corruption, and the dependency. Being such a young nation, the government isn't that well established compared to something like the United States. And so there is the ability for more corruption to go on, as opposed to, and then again with the dependency, since it is a smaller nation, all of their exports are going to larger countries. So they're surrounded by these large nations in Eastern Europe, and they are relatively dependent on them. But most of the countries that they're dependent on are very strong, and so really they can only get stronger as well. Next slide, please. So our fund selection is the iShares MSCI Emerging Markets Eastern Europe ETF and the BlackRock Emerging Europe PLC. And these are two very different funds that invest in the same thing, basically. So with the iShares ETF, it was $17.04 midpoint as of March 27, 2015. And the inception date was September 30th, 2009. So it's a relatively new share. And if you can look at the graph here, you'll see that actually 66% of it is invested in the Russian Federation, and only 3.64% is invested in the Czech Republic. But you have to keep in mind that the other countries here, Poland, Hungary, and then the other category, are all countries that the Czech Republic exports to. And so it's really a better range and concept of investing in the Czech Republic and seeing where their exports go. Now, the BlackRock Emerging Europe PLC, it's a much larger share, so it's a lot more expensive. It was 213 euros at midpoint price for March 27th, and the inception date for that was 29th November 1994. So keep in mind that the Czech Republic became its own nation in 1993. So this came out right after. And because of that, it doesn't heavily invest in the Czech Republic, but like the other, like the iShares ETF, it does invest in all the countries surrounding it, and therefore is a good basis of what is going on in the Czech Republic. Now, as far as the funds are concerned, BlackRock invests mostly in Russian, just like the iShares. But the iShares is more tailored to the Czech Republic per se, and it's a smaller share, so it's going to be more volatile, just like the economy of the Czech Republic. And so that's why we gave two options, of one being a more stable concept and the other being a little bit more volatile. Now, these are both long-term investments that you would be making. And the reason for this is it's such a young country that you want to make a long-term investment in something that you believe is going to grow. The current state of the Czech Republic is that they're shifting from a manufacturing economy into a services economy, as you saw earlier. And so we believe that with that shift, their economy will increase hugely. And next slide, please. And these are our sources. So thank you very much.